Just to make sure, did I pronounce your name correctly, Jose El Rayo Valenzuela?
Yeah, Jose El Rayo Valenzuela.
El Rayo. Does El Rayo mean lightning? Exactly. How did you get that nickname?
Just when I was little, I was always very energetic. I was like a pretty good runner. I would throw a lot and stuff like that. So my dad would just be like, "Man, he's a freaking Rayo, you know, it's un Rayo," and then just kind of stuck. And then when I went pro, kind of just like, "Man, what's my nickname gonna be?" My dad was just like, "Well, Rayo." That's just what it was ever since.
That's what's up. For the people that's tuning in that never seen you box before, how would you describe your style?
I would say boxing puncher. I can box. I'm 5'10". I got a great jab, but I'm a great body puncher as well. I love to stay in the inside and exchange, you know, if I have to do that. So, but yeah, I would say for the most part, boxing punching.
You are returning on PBC. You are 7-0 as a pro with 4 KOs. What would you say is some of the main differences between being an amateur and a pro?
You just got more time to think. I think when you get to the pros, you're already very experienced, so you're able to relax, breathe, and take your time. And I think the power punches make a big difference, and just no headgear, no shirt, you know, all that good stuff.
You prefer fighting in the amateurs or in the pros?
Oh, definitely in the pros. The amateurs was a lot of fun, though. I remember just going out with my family, you know, the tournaments and all that. But nothing like getting paid for doing what you love.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, how many amateur fights did you have?
50. I lost 5.
When did you start boxing?
I started boxing when I was 10 here in Seattle.
How did the collaboration came along with Jose Benavidez Sr.?
Yeah, so I think I was like 17, about to turn 18, and I was already thinking about going pro. And I kind of got into it. My old coach, being at his gym wasn't for like my best interest or his, so I went with another guy. His name was Isaac Tadeo, who was used to work at Seattle Boxing Gym, and he used to train with Benavidez years ago, like almost 10 years ago. And he had heard that David and them were in Oregon, which is like 3 hours away from where we're at. And so he kept calling Benavidez like, "Hey, there's this kid here who's very good. He's not working with anybody," and he kept bugging him. You know, Benavidez, he was just, you know, like brush him off and stuff, and he just kept annoying Benavidez Senior. And he said, "Man, bring him along. Let's see what he has," you know. And we did. I went to drive down with my parents. I basically stayed across from where they were living in a hotel for a week. And, you know, we working 3 times a day. Man, they were killing me. I never worked so hard in my life. Killing me. And at the end of the week, he said, "Well, you have heart, you're good, but you know you're still missing a lot. But I like you. But now the only problem is, man, my parents, man, we come from a very humble house. They're working on like minimum wage and stuff, so they couldn't afford me living in a hotel. So we're all bummed out. Actually, this is the crazy part. We're on our way back. We stopped at the grocery store across from where they were at, leaving back, and my mom, she's from Mexico, she's from Sinaloa, she's a very of a hustler. So she seen this lady, started conversating with her, and she was like, "Hey, by any chance, you know anyone who's renting a room maybe my son can stay at?" Kind of, she told her the situation, and the lady was like, "As a matter of fact, I do." So man, got blessed with that opportunity. I was renting a room with some lady I didn't even know for like maybe 3 weeks, and she always told me like, "Oh, I have a son," and stuff like that. And I thought probably my age, you know, the son was like a 30-year-old guy out of prison, like tatted from his head to toe. You know, very nice people though. But you know, it was a little uncomfortable to be like guys like that knocking at the door all day and stuff. So I mentioned it to David and Junior. Benavidez Junior was like, "Man, come with us, man. Just move in with us." And at first David was kind of very like, "I don't know, you know, he's more of a private guy." But David was like, "You know, fuck it, bring him along." And ever since then, man, I was living with David for like 3-4 years, and they treated me like family, man. Took me in like a little brother, and basically adopted me, and I'm still here.
Oh, that's what's up. How old were you when you first started working with Jose Benavidez?
I think I had just turned like 18 or something like that. Because then I trained a whole year before I went pro. I turned pro at 19, and then now I'm 21. I'm about to be 22.
Well, I'm glad you made that decision because your name have been buzzing ever since the news came out of you knocking out Teofimo Lopez in sparring.
Yeah.
Who was some of your favorite fighters growing up in the sport of boxing?
Yeah, I'm a lefty, you know, so I love Pernell Whitaker. He was one of my favorites. Julio Cesar Chavez for the body shots, and then Oscar De La Hoya. I used to love his jab, and then of course Floyd Mayweather. Right now, I really like Inoue. I think he's a Japan fighter, the monster.
Right.
Great fighter, yeah.
Who would you favor to come out on top at 168 from Canelo Plant, Benavidez?
Definitely. I'm gonna have to go with my brother. David Benavidez. I think there's still so much the world hasn't seen. I watch him spar every day. I'm still amazed. Every time I watch him, I'm like, man, I can't believe it. So, I think better fighters will bring the best out of him. So I think it's only a matter of time.
I saw you sparring David Benavidez. What was that experience like? Do you guys spar often? And what's your thoughts on David Benavidez as a fighter and his potential in boxing, being the youngest 168-pounder champion of all time?
Yeah. We spar a lot actually. I probably spar him more than I spar his brother. I love sparring David, man, because there's always a chess match in there, and he's always making sure I stay sharp, and we work a lot with each other. But as far as David, man, I think the sky's the limit for that guy, man. I've seen him spar some of the top 175 pounders, and he holds his own, So I'm excited for him as a fighter and as a brother, see what he can do. I think he can beat Canelo as well.
Who would you say you learned the most from? A fighter that taught you the most, either in sparring or just in general?
I'll definitely say David because me and him, we used to live together, and that's all we used to do, man. We used to train, box, sleep, box. We used to come home, talk about boxing. We come home, watch boxing. That's all we do, man. Just analyze fights and pick fighters apart, when just watching them. So I'll say David. And then as far as like sparring, I think the last camp I was working with Jojo Diaz, man, and that guy, man, he's a hell of a fighter. We had wars, so he definitely made me dig down and really bring the best out of me, and I think I brought the best out of him. So just as the fighter, me learning and he pushing me to my limits. So definitely, I would say him. And shout out to him and his father, great people. I sparred another fighter that before I turned pro, because I believe I think it was his first loss because he was gonna fight a lefty, Machado, a Puerto Rican fighter.
Okay.
He was with Freddie Roach. That was over at Wild Card. That was a great experience as well. Also a great fighter. I fought a lot of good prospects like Tajara. I sparred Mercito Gesta, Oscar Negrete. I sparred great fighters, a lot. Rolly, another good friend of mine.
Rolly, okay. You are in the hottest division, or one of the hottest divisions in boxing. So who would you favor to come out on top right now out of the Fabulous Four? Tank, Ryan, T.O., Devin Haney.
Um, right now. I think Tank because he proved himself with Leo Santa Cruz. Even though Leo is a smaller fighter, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He did a thing with Gamboa. Then I'll say Tio because he beat Lomachenko. He has all the belts. And then with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, I think personally, I would say Devin Haney, but he has yet to fight that fighter to give him over that hill. So for him to prove himself, and I think he can. It's just a matter of him doing it. And then I'll say Ryan Garcia.
Few years from now, you see the guy on the other side of the corner that won the Fabulous Four that you could possibly face is maybe Tank, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You fought in the bubble. So how was that experience like? What was your take on fighting in the bubble?
As far as the bubble, I think when I was in the ring, it didn't really make a difference for me. But I think just the week of the fight, it was kind of difficult because you can't even use the gym basically for like the first 2 days that you're there. You're just training in your room. You don't got a sauna, you don't got a treadmill till you get cleared to go out and stuff like that. So that makes it difficult. Thank God, my weight was always good, so I never had to deal with no weight problems and stuff like that. But I could definitely see if like you're in the heavy side, definitely come prepared to lose weight in just your room.
And see, that's how they surprised David Benavidez because he caught a lot of backlash, but people don't know that he only had 1 hour access to go outside and
Exactly, and
two
you
days
only get it
quarantine.
after.
Right, right. Them weren't excuses. That's things he dealt with. He just wasn't prepared for that because
Wasn't
he
prepared
wasn't
for it. Now,
notified.
yeah, now second time around, he was prepared for it, you know, and it was no big deal.
Right. Well, what can the fans expect on May? For the people that's tuning in, what can the fans expect? What statement you're looking to put on?
They can expect a great fight, fireworks, just a great show all around. It's gonna be a big card, you know, a lot of Mexican fighters, so you can expect an excellent show.
Yes, so now before I let you go, I'm just curious to know what's your take on the state of boxing today, where a lot of fighters get to being a mandatory and then vacating being a mandatory or petitioning not to fight. What's your take on that? Since becoming a champion is every fighter dream, what's your take on? It seemed like a lot of fighters today they turning down title shots opportunities.
Yeah, man, I think personally, I think that's whack. You know, I know why they do it, and I can see why. You know, it's a business move. You know, they want to make as much money as they can before getting that O. But me personally, I want the hard fights, man. I've been telling my coach, man, I think it's time. Like, give me these prospects, give me these top contenders, man. I'm ready to put on a show for everybody, and when I get my belt, I want to, you know, be assured when I go to sleep, like, man, I beat the best. You know, I'm on top. I don't want no doubts in my head. So, but that's me personally. But as far as everyone else, you know, I can't speak for them. They're doing it, I think, more for a business move or whatnot. But
Jose El Rayo Valenzuela, one of the hottest prospects in the sport of boxing today. He must see TV, so check him out on May 1st. We can't wait to see your fight, and we got to have you back after your performance in the future on Split Decision.
For sure, man. I would love to come back, and thanks for having me again.
Message from Youth Fountain Laboratory, makers of VasoFlux and VasoFlux for Men. If you're over the age of 35 and over the years you've eaten pizza, dairy foods, deli meats, or meats with fat, you are likely to have some degree of plaque buildup in your veins and arteries. This increases your risk of suffering a stroke or heart attack exponentially, and no one wants such a catastrophic event to occur. Introducing Blackout. Blackout is made of all natural ingredients proven to help dissolve clots in the blood, remove calcium deposits and plaque from the walls of veins and arteries, improve viscosity of the blood, improve elasticity of the veins and arteries, treat varicose veins, and prevent the reoccurrence of plaque buildup. For more information, visit Youth Fountain Laboratory at youthfountainlab.com or call 1-800-853-7856. And remember, to help unclog veins and arteries, get the Blackout.
Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man ScalpCarolinas on Instagram. Now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elodiki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
What's going on, guys? You know, I've always wanted to find a second source of income. And I've always wanted to learn about stocks and trades because I've heard so much good stuff about it. So I finally found a way to do it. And now I'm learning from 6, 7, 8-figure traders. So not only am I learning from them, but the most important thing is I get to copy their trade. So I get to earn while I learn. Now, if you want the full details, click on the link below so you can learn while you copy and paste their trades. And just understand this, guys, just by watching the video, you're doing a great job of supporting my channel, and I appreciate it. And the craziest thing about doing this trading is you can do it anywhere. All you need is an internet connection, and you can do it just with your phone. So if you want to learn how to make a second income alongside me without having to pitch, sell, or recruit, go ahead and click on the link below, and I'll see you inside.